Risk of brain hemorrhage appears transmissible via blood transfusion. This is a study found by Karolinska Institute on Medical Express. A major study published in JAMA, led by researchers at Karolinska Institute, suggests that a possible cause of spontaneous brain hemorrhage could be transmitted via blood transfusion. At the same time, it's very unlikely that anyone should suffer a brain hemorrhage after receiving donated blood. A common cause of spontaneous recurring brain hemorrhages is the vascular disease cerebral amyloid angiopathy, CAA for short, in which proteins accumulate along the tiny blood vessels of the brain. Several studies have shown that CAA can be transferred from one individual to another through neurosurgery and probably via treatment using a certain type of growth hormone. The few affected individuals, a new study researchers from Karolinska in Sweden, the University of Copenhagen in Denmark, KU Leuven in Belgium, and other institutions show that patients who have received blood from donors who later suffered recurring brain hemorrhages are more than twice as likely to suffer a brain hemorrhage themselves. The findings suggest that some factor that can give rise to spontaneous brain hemorrhages can be spread through blood transfusion. However, as only 0.1% of the donors in the study subsequently suffered recurring brain hemorrhages, there were consequently only a few affected patients. Blood transfusions are relatively common, which makes possible negative effects an important public health issue, says the study's last author, Gustav Edgren, researcher at the Department of Medicine, Karolinska Institute, Solna, and specialist physician of Södersjukhuset. However, in this case, it's very unlikely that you'd suffer a brain hemorrhage from something transmitted through a transfusion. CAA could be transmissible. According to the researchers, the most important implication of the study is instead that it adds further support to the hypothesis that CAA can be transmitted between individuals, which, if true, can have consequences in several fields. The study drew on the Swedish-Danish transfusion database ScanDat, which contains data on blood donors and patients receiving a transfusion from 1970s onward. A total of more than 1 million patients were included. The primary analyses were conducted in Sweden and then repeated with the Danish data with almost identical results. Confirmation is needed. The researchers now hope to corroborate the hypothesis that the link between brain hemorrhage and blood transfusion concerns CAA. They will therefore be examining samples from the Danish blood donor study biobank to see if they can identify aberrant proteins associated with the disease. The plan is also to obtain CAT and MR scans from the affected donors and patients to see if they might also be able to support the hypothesis. This study does not demonstrate causality, so the observed increase in risk could depend on other factors, says the study's first author, Jin Choing Zhao from Dr. Edgren Group at Karolinska Institute. More research is needed to confirm our findings and understand the potential underlying mechanism, he said. And this is from JAMA, Journal of American Medical Association, on Medical Express by Karolinska Institute. I'll leave links below for you for this. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Finally, support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.